It's Sunday, July the 3rd. Can you believe it's July already? It's time for the Parish Notice Board. Let's see what I've got for you this week. As ever, we start with Guess Where I Am, and today you can see a war memorial. I'm just going to hop out of the way so you can have a look at it. Straighten the camera up as well because it's on the squint a little bit. There you go, there is the war memorial. Now, you might not get this one without a bit of a clue, so I will tell you that this one stands in a garden that you can find adjacent to a major road somewhere to the north of Leeds. I might give you another clue later because I'm not quite sure that's enough for you. But that's all you're getting to start with. Let me know if you think you know where this is. Now last week the Parish Notice Board was in the car. We were driving up to the East Riding, myself and the good lady wife Nikki, and the only clue I really gave you was that the village I was heading for began with an S and it was to the northeast of the city of Hull. Few people guessed it, but I think only one person got the right village. A few others said different other villages beginning with S. There are a few out there. It wasn't the best of clues. The one I was heading for was Sproatley. So yeah, that one will be coming out in the East Riding very soon. Well done if you got it. I'm not going to dwindle too much on this next thing. The road to 5,000 subscribers, you know the drill by now. It's a weekly update on how many I have and how close I am to that 5,000 subscriber mark, so I can show you the 5,000 subscriber special. The figure is down there in the box at the bottom. When I left the house this morning, it was on 4,650. It might have gone up a bit more now, but yeah, thanks very much, guys. I've had a massive increase this week. Might have had something to do with something else I'm going to talk about in a while, though. So yeah. It's all helpful. We're getting towards that 5,000 sub mark. So damage control this week, I've only got 2 of the 7 videos to talk about in this section. The first one is Kaywood in Selby. There were 2 minor problems with that, although not really problems, because the first one, you'll see what I mean by this. The first one was to do with the picture bit and to do with the picture of the almshouses that I put there. Apparently those almshouses still stand. They're somewhere else in the village. It's a different set of almshouses, but there's no way I could tell that from the research. As far as I was concerned, it was the almshouses you saw on the street I walked up at the beginning of the video. The other thing was the craft fair. That's now long gone apparently, but you know, that's what happens when things aren't updated on the internet. You find this stuff, you think, oh, that's great, but if it's not there anymore, there's nothing you can do about it. You don't know, do you? And speaking of things that you don't know, Melton Ross is the other one I need to talk about. I mentioned the village hall, which was shared between Melton Ross and New Barnetby. That's actually not standing anymore. It's been demolished at least 3 years apparently. It's funny because when I walked through New Barnetby, I thought to myself, you know, there's meant to be some kind of building here, because I'd done a bit of research and I'd sort of seen that there was a building near the railway line, but I couldn't remember seeing it. So yeah, it's been demolished apparently. So I wonder what Melton Ross do now for community hall, community events, things like that now. They maybe have to share it with Rawby or with some other village out there, maybe Kirmington. Who knows? Who knows? I'm sure you guys know better than I do. That's this week's damage control. Okay, the webcam is at the ready for the next thing. Tomorrow night at 7 PM is the first ever parish meeting, which is going to occur on the first Monday of every month from now on. It's going to be good to get myself on that webcam. It's been sat there in a box doing nothing for ages, so it'd be good to be on it. And really, for the first meeting tomorrow, all it's going to be is like a general chat, really, just a general catch up. Sort of a forum for you guys to say what you think's working great, what you think isn't, you know, and if you're enjoying what I'm doing. I mean, I'm enjoying what I'm doing. It's up to you whether you guys are, but I know some of you are, and so the long-time followers like to see all these places I go to. It'll last about an hour, which will probably be the norm every time we do a parish meeting. So yeah, just feel free to drop in anytime between 7 and 8 o'clock tomorrow night and say what you think, and just generally enjoy the chat with myself and anybody else who comes to say hello. Now this next thing could be quite long-winded, and my camera has 10% battery at the moment, so this could go wrong. I may have to change battery halfway through. I'll do my best. Okay, so this week has been a bit mental, and the reason for that is to do with BBC Radio Derby and Radio Nottingham. I've been on both this week, and Radio Derby was easy enough. That was just a basic sort of radio interview that lasted about 5 minutes. You might have heard me, I was on there last Saturday. However, Radio Nottingham was a bit different. It was a live sort of report with a guy who walked around a village in Newark and Sherwood with me, and unbeknownst to me at the time, I didn't know he was going to do this. He also took some video footage, and there might be a piece going on TV as well. He didn't say where, but I assume, seeing it's BBC, it could well be East Midlands Today, the equivalent of Look North, which I've been on before. Now if that happens, the video that I was filming with him will have to coincide with that report going out, and the video that I was filming is due to be released on August the 9th. Now, because of that, I've had to rejig the schedule a little bit so I can accommodate it. So the upshot of that is, it means that virtually every series has had to alter in some way. The only one that hasn't, if you're a fan of the Selby series or you live in Selby, you can ignore this bit because Selby is unaffected. Every other series is, and the easiest way to explain this to you is to bring it up visually. If I tried to talk you through it, you'd get confused. So here on the screen right now is the current schedule, the one that you're used to, and this is what the schedule will look like as a result of this change. Now, one thing you might notice that's different there is that there's a Harrogate video involved. Now, we filmed, myself and Nikki, we filmed a Harrogate episode a long time ago now, while we were driving between Selby and Leeds, and it's just been sat doing nothing for a while. It was supposed to be one of the Free for All Sundays episodes when that eventually starts, but that now is going to come out this week. And you may have noticed the Suffolk videos, the 4 which we filmed while we were on holiday, those are coming out as well in the very near future. So if you live in Suffolk, you're going to see your county again very, very soon. I'm sorry for the change, guys, but you know, it kind of has to happen. If this thing goes on the telly, it just makes more sense for this video to sort of coincide with it being on the TV. So yeah, those are the schedule changes. Error Wash, as a result, you'll see from the chart, has been pushed back 2 weeks, which means Free for All Sundays has been pushed back 2 weeks as well. So not much I can do about it, but at least it's good exposure for the channel, eh? Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is a trip that myself and the good lady wife are going to be embarking on. Now, in July, Nikki has 3 days of annual leave from work, which means that we can go off for those 3 days and we can take the camera and we can film away to our heart's content. We're going to be touching 2 new counties and a 3rd county we've seen before. We're staying somewhere that's close to the tri-point border of all 3 counties, and we're going to take on between 9 and 12 villages, either 3 a day or 4 a day or some combination thereof, to make some more, to break some new ground, basically. So yeah, those 2 new counties are Warwickshire and Leicestershire, and of course you will see these in the Free for All Sunday episodes when they begin. And that brings us to the coming week, but I've got nothing to tell you about in this section this week, and that's because I'm having a break from filming this week. Because of the whole Radio Derby, Radio Nottingham thing, which I spoke about earlier, I've got a little bit of a backlog of videos to make. So this week I'm going to be concentrating on editing all of those. Over the past 8 days, I filmed 16 episodes, which is mental. My body is a little bit tired, to be honest with you, from all the walking around, and I think if I do any more next week, I'm just going to collapse. So yeah, I think this week is going to be an editing week, and I'll be back at it next Saturday, not next Friday. I know normally I do stuff on a Friday, but it will be next Saturday because Nikki will be with me and we'll be heading into West Lindsey to do some. But I'll tell you more about that in next week's Parish Notice Board episode. For now, this has been this week's Parish Notice Board episode, and the only thing I've got left to do is show you what's coming up on the channel this week. I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out. Oh, and if you wanted another clue for guess where I am, by the way, that war memorial stands in front of this church. So my very glamorous assistant is going to open the door of the book exchange. So